Good morning, everybody. I'm Laurence Lieberman, and I lead the India group at Taylor Wessing. It's a pleasure to welcome you all to what is now our third annual India Summit that we've hosted and chaired with our partners at Codex and Plus 91. I'm sure that you will be treated to a fascinating day of insight and analysis of the current achievements and ambitions of India, with our usual focus on investment into India. We have a thriving India practice at Taylor Wessing, focused on four main sectors in particular: technology, media and communications, financial institutions and services, life sciences and healthcare, and real estate, hotels and infrastructure. About 3/4 of our work is outbound, so that's advising Indian companies on their legal needs outside of India, of course in the UK, but across the whole of the Taylor Wessing international network. Around 1/4 of our work is inbound, and we've seen a significant upturn in the last 9 months or so from clients that seek our guidance on going into India, in particular in telecoms and technology, but also most recently one of our large banking clients has approached us with a view to setting up a branch in India. Now, India holds an important place, as you all know, in the current global economic climate. Today, the whole world is attracted to India as a trading partner and as an investment destination. India's quarterly figures reflect a 7.9% growth rate, a rate which the so-called developed world economies look on enviously. And various initiatives by the Indian government introduced recently demonstrate the government's intention to continue and maintain that high growth rate. These initiatives include relaxing regulations around foreign investment into India, setting up a smart cities programme aimed at urbanising and modernising certain parts of India, the Digital India initiative and the Make in India campaign, and we'll be hearing today, of course, as you'll have seen from the agenda, on those topics from some of the foremost experts and commentators. After Prime Minister Modi's visit to the UK earlier this year, we're likely to, and in fact have already seen, a rise in UK investment into India as trade relations between the two countries blossom. And the arrangement is, of course, reciprocal. According to a 2015 report issued by UKTI, India is now the third largest source of foreign direct investment into the UK. Of course, a certain referendum has been at the forefront of press and analysis in the last few days, and I hope it doesn't distract too much from the India focus for today. And whilst the relationship between the UK and the EU has been the focus, it is instructive to consider the impact of the result on India. It is, of course, far too early to say anything definitive or conclusive. Some Indian economists predict that Brexit will have an immediate impact on India's GDP growth, but they have further said that there's no need for Indian investors to worry about it because the Indian government is also taking steps to boost GDP growth, and a good example is the recent FDI liberalisation. And that was further confirmed by two leading Indian economists, Arvind Virmani, former chief economic advisor, and Dharmakirti Joshi, chief economist at Chrysil, who said that Brexit is unlikely to have a notable impact on India's GDP growth in fiscal 2017. Indeed, Brexit may also open up an opportunity to India in terms of economic diplomacy, and if it acts shrewdly, it may be able to win over a few European countries and negotiate better trading terms at multi-trading fora such as the World Trade Organization. And of course, at least there is now a potentially simpler bilateral trading relationship between the UK and India. Moving then on to the important topic of foreign direct investment, India's easing of FDI rules is a positive step as it shows a continuation of reform momentum and paves the way for private investment and boosting productivity. Higher FDI inflows will help support the country's external financing needs at a time of more moderated foreign indirect investment inflows. The Indian government has announced FDI liberalisation in 9 sectors, including defence, civil aviation, retail and private security services. This was the current government's second round of relaxation of the FDI rules. The key changes include, for example, allowing 100% FDI under a government approval route for trading, including through e-commerce, in respect of food products manufactured or produced in India, and permitting up to 100% FDI in the defence sector. Further, yesterday, India joined the Missile Technology Control Regime as a full member. And some of the significant advantages of that from an economic perspective are that India will be able to sell the Indo-Russian supersonic cruise missile BrahMos that will make India a significant arms exporter. It will also allow it will also assist India in the procurement of Arrow 2, and India will be able to buy surveillance drones from other countries like the American Predator drones, and have access to previously restricted high-end technologies for developing its cryogenic engines to enhance space exploration. The other sectors that have benefited include the broadcasting, pharmaceutical, civil aviation, as I mentioned, and single-brand retail. And the FDI inflow into the country has increased in 2015-16 to $55.46 billion US dollars, as against $36.04 billion in 2013-14. And so last year was the highest ever FDI inflow for a particular financial year. Another sector which offers opportunities is healthcare, and as the relationship between the UK and India strengthens, the UK will be able to provide solutions to the current problems facing India's healthcare system. Currently, most citizens either use public services that are woefully underfunded or pay for private insurance. The UK could play a significant role in helping India build hospitals and clinics in some of the smart cities, according to NHS Chairman Sir Malcolm Grant. The UK has developed some of the most innovative healthcare services and systems in the world over the past 7 decades of the NHS, which would be of undoubted benefit to India. I'll touch briefly on smart cities. On June 25th this year, Prime Minister Modi inaugurated various smart city projects under the Smart Cities mission and launched 84 such projects at an investment of around 2,000 crore Indian rupees. Smart cities are essentially urban clusters with smooth transportation, e-governance and better social infrastructure, including healthcare and education. Smart cities are about developing modern facilities in cities across India to make them centres of development themselves. According to the Indian government, urbanisation will also help eradicate poverty in India. In terms of how the UK can help with the project, British companies, of course, have world-class consulting, project management and engineering skills that can help to plan, design and build these new cities. And after Modi's trip to the UK earlier this year, it was decided that 7 UK companies will participate in the roundtable, where they'll connect with key decision makers from government and industry and local town planning. Finally, the Digital India Initiative, which you'll be hearing a bit more about later today, started last year and aims to empower the people of the country digitally. The initiative also aims to bridge India's digital segment and bring big investments into the technology sector. It is to ensure that government services are available to citizens electronically. It will focus on providing high-speed internet services to citizens and make services available in real time in both online and mobile platforms. Digital India, of course, also aims to transform the ease of doing business in the country. Modi's government is focusing on providing broadband services in all villages of the country, telemedicine and mobile healthcare services, and making the governance of the country itself more participative. That's all I wanted to say by way of welcoming remarks. I'll be here all day and delighted to discuss our experiences with India in detail with you. But for now, I'll hand over to Rakesh to begin the substantive topics for the day. Thanks very much.